Thoughts can be seen as packages of information. Typically, you never receive a full and completed thought or download into your mind. Thoughts are like a stream of data. You usually will get one idea. When you focus on it enough, it'll string to the next idea. And you focus on that enough, it'll string to the next idea. And each idea is taking you around circles in your mind, ultimately until you end up to a position where you stay there for a while until you have your next round of thinking. That's typically how the thought process goes and how we translate consciousness and turn it into form and put it into our mind's space. That's essentially how I think about this process of thinking, as if each thought is its own little box that has a position and coordinate in relation to other ideas and our own interpreting system within our mind. It's up to you to build that interpreting system that can translate thoughts so that you can use them productively. The first step that you would take in authenticating your thoughts is to first recognize the thought itself. You can't necessarily determine whether something is true or false, or something that is for you or not for you, or is even something that's productive or beneficial, unless you've recognized the entirety of what you're trying to observe. From a programmatic point of view, this makes sense because you have to recognize the object that you're trying to work on and improve. You have to lock on to it entirely before you can make changes to it and even make changes to the process for how you want to operate on it. Your thoughts can also be seen as programs that if you give the thought enough time and attention, it will automatically execute the next line of thinking. That's how thoughts work and how our mind interprets our thinking. It always prepares for the next inline thought while we're simultaneously focusing on our current thought. Your mind is always feeding you snippets of information, one by one and line by line. How thinking usually works is you'll get one idea that will then take you to the next idea, and then that idea will take you to the next idea, and each of these have their own position and coordinate within your mental grid. It's the line that connects these ideas which make up your mental travel. Your mind is continuously taking you through a series of different loops and lines within your mind. I believe that you can become fully aware of this process of how your mind travels lines. And in a similar way our mind travels lines, there are also regions of your mind which you can explore and travel in between as well. You'll notice that if you think a certain theme of thoughts, that theme may be related to a coordination or a region within your field of awareness. It may feel like it's in the top left position or the bottom right, or even behind you or in your front center. Each realm of thinking also has its own position. Try to give attention to how your thoughts are entering into your mind's interface. What lines of thinking is this predictably going to go based upon my past? What is the texture of the thought, and does it have a shape or a color? Is this thought connected to another thought? Is that thought horizontal or vertical? These are the essential first steps that you would take to recognize the thought that you're having. All of this is a good start for how you would create your mind design. Try learning to identify your thoughts as if it's an object and observe them with precision.